Join us for a deep dive into EMR.
Everything you need to know about the method that is revolutionizing the world of trauma.
Hey everyone, and welcome to this deep dive. We're turning our focus to eye movement release therapy.
EMR for short.
Exactly, EMR. And we're going to be diving in through a really powerful story.
Yeah, personal story. I always find those so impactful.
Me too. You really connect on a different level. And this one that you shared, Avi's story, really got to me. I mean, here's a former soldier trying to find his way back to himself after his service, dealing with PTSD. And the way he described the nightmares, the anxiety, that feeling of just being completely disconnected, it's heartbreaking.
It really is. And sadly, it's not an uncommon story for veterans. These invisible wounds, they linger long after the battles are over.
That's what I thought too, invisible wounds. And that's where this EMR therapy comes in. So imagine a therapy where you don't even have to relive those events, those traumas, by talking about them.
Yeah, the content-free approach is pretty unique.
Definitely unique. So how does that even work?
Well, it's all about guiding the brain's natural healing, Think about when you're dreaming during REM sleep. Your eyes are moving all over the place.
It's true. Like they're darting around even though you're asleep.
Precisely. And EMR uses these guided eye movements. It's a type of bilateral stimulation. It kind of replicates that process to help the brain process all those memories and emotions, even the traumatic ones.
So instead of describing every little detail, his therapist would have him focus on a memory, but also like follow the therapist's finger back and forth.
Exactly. It might sound strange at first, moving your eyes to heal from trauma, right?
I'd probably have some questions too.
I think we all would. But it's really about helping the brain process and kind of file away those difficult experiences in a healthier way. And Avi, in his story, he even mentions being skeptical at first.
Well, yeah, who wouldn't be? If someone said, hey, follow my finger and you'll feel better, I'd have some questions.
Absolutely. It is a different approach than traditional talk therapy, for sure. Which is so understandable, that initial hesitation. It's more common than you might think.
Yeah, it makes you wonder how many amazing things are out there.
Right, that we just haven't discovered yet, or maybe we're a little afraid to try.
Exactly, but Avi, he went for it, and reading 𝒂1, there's this one part. It's so powerful.
What part stood out to you?
It's where he's focusing on this memory. I think it's the toughest one he carries. They don't go into specifics.
Yeah, they keep it pretty vague.
They do, but you can just feel it.
You can feel that intensity.
Absolutely, it really stayed with me.
And that intensity, that's a vital part of it, When the memory feels so real and overwhelming, that's when EMR can really step in.
Because sometimes, even talking about it, no matter how carefully, it just makes it bigger.
It does. It can amplify the pain.
Yeah.
But with the eye movements, it's like you're creating this safe space.
For your brain to process everything.
Right, without feeling completely overwhelmed.
So we're basically sneaking in the back door.
In a way, yeah. And what's fascinating? This whole idea of bilateral stimulation, it's not some new age thing. It's something our brains already do.
Really? Like how?
Think about it. We blink, we shift our gaze, even when we're just thinking.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That's all bilateral stimulation. And our brains, they recognize that.
So even something as simple as like tapping my foot or listening to music.
Exactly. They engage both hemispheres of the brain.
Wow, I never thought of it like that.
It's all connected. And this cross-hemispheric activity, it seems to be key to how EMR helps people process and really integrate these experiences.
It's like reminding your brain, hey, you've got this. It's already in you.
Exactly. That power to heal, that ability to find balance.
That's incredible. So Avi, he's doing these eye movements, focusing on those memories. Then what?
Well, he starts to make real progress. And it's not just that he's feeling less pain, but his whole perspective starts to shift.
Because if I remember correctly, he carried a lot of guilt.
He did. He blamed himself for not doing more to save his friend.
The what ifs, the endless loop of guilt and regret.
It's heavy stuff. And that's where EMR can be so powerful. It's not about wiping the slate clean, because you can't change what happened.
No, you can't.
But it's about helping people like Avi see those memories in a new light, from a different angle.
So he can see that it wasn't his fault. Sometimes, even when you do everything right,
bad things still happen.
Exactly. And as he went through more sessions, that's what started to happen for him. He could look at those memories without being sucked back into the guilt and despair. He starts to find some peace with it.
Exactly. And that's where things get really interesting, because with successful EMR, it's not just about feeling better on the inside. It starts to show up in their lives, too.
Oh, I see. It's like a ripple effect.
Right. But instead of chaos, it's like those dominoes clicking into place, creating order.
I love that analogy. And it makes sense when you look at Avi's story. The nightmares lessen, his anxiety goes down. He even starts to reconnect with people.
It starts to engage with life again.
Yes, he's not just surviving, he's starting to live again, and all because he was willing to try something different, something that maybe seemed a little out there at first.
It's a good reminder that healing can come in many forms, and for anyone listening who might be struggling, especially if traditional therapy hasn't worked or maybe even feels impossible.
Because who wants to relive those traumatic events over and over again?
It can feel almost counterproductive sometimes.
Right. So with EMR, you're essentially giving your brain and body a new way to process all of that pain, all those memories.
And the research on this is really encouraging. We're seeing that EMR can be just as effective as traditional talk therapy for PTSD.
Wow, that's amazing.
In some cases, even more effective, particularly when you look at those core symptoms, the nightmares, the flashbacks, the emotional roller coaster.
It's giving people hope where they maybe thought there was none left.
Exactly. And it makes you wonder about the potential for EMR beyond just PTSD.
Right. Because if it can help with that, what else can it do?
Well, we're already seeing promising results with anxiety, phobias, even grief and performance enhancement.
It's really pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible.
It is, and it all circles back to that mind-body connection, how powerful it is and how much we're still learning about it.
Well, on that note, I think we'll leave our listeners with that thought. The power of the mind-body connection, it's a journey of discovery.
And every journey starts with a single step.
Or maybe a blink and a shift of the eyes. Thanks for diving deep with us, everyone. Until next time.